Welcome to Go Live Vegas. This show is called Full Tilt Vegas. I have a friend of mine, Gypsy G. She's here.
In the house.
In the house, baby.
In the studio.
In the studio. Gypsy, why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Oh, no way. That's top secret. No. And actually, most of you watching probably know. I met Richard here at Go Live Studio. He was a guest on a show I was doing called Time to Vegas. Speaking of lovely Las Vegas, I have been here a little over 30 years of my life. A little more than half of my life I have been. No, wait, I just aged myself. Yeah. No, that's right. A little more than half of my life I've been in Vegas. I was a blackjack, craps dealer. I dealt all the what's called the carnival games, Let It Ride, Caribbean Stud. I did a little bit of roulette, but I didn't like pushing all those chips, so I asked them not to put me on the roulette table because it kind of made me nervous that they were going to go kerchunk, right? Yeah. So I've been in Vegas for a minute. I wrote a book on Vegas. It was called the Vegas Souvenir Book. It's going to have a different name when it comes back, so a lot of Vegas information. I love Vegas.
Yep.
Viva.
Yep, 24/7. I love this town.
Yep.
We're gonna let's talk a little bit about roulette, and we're gonna go into probably blackjack and craps. But what I want to say, I had it on my the last show, episode 1. But what I want to say about roulette, and I want to be more specific because I got some callers calling me about they didn't understand what I meant when. If you look at a layout, you'll see there's 1 through 18. That's half the table. And the other half is 19 through 36. That's the other half. That percentage is the same, 47.37. But you got to remember something. It's this half, and this half. If you bet even, odd, red or black, all the numbers are intertwined and mixed. So it doesn't matter what side the ball on the table that the number falls on, you're hoping because you're playing red, they're scattered. Black, they're scattered.
So you're saying that's better to play what's in the mix? Because I watched that video of yours.
Yeah, well, the reason why I say I don't like playing 1 through 18, 19, because if the dealer's hitting one side a lot, sometimes the dealer does that. He'll hit one side a lot. If you look up at that tote board, I talked about the tote board on my first episode. When they put that up, a lot of people start playing that game because they kept like, oh, look at 8 red. The next one's black. That has nothing to do with it. So I like playing red. That's my favorite color. My favorite number is number 3. So I play red, and I hedge bet between the red and any of the. It doesn't matter what numbers you play inside because you're just hoping it's one of the 18 red, and then they're all mixed. So but that percentage on the even, odd, red or black is 47.37 for that. Now, if you think about it, if you take red, black, even, and odd, if you take that and then you take the 2 zeros, now I think it's 52.63% that you have a chance of winning. And the casino's only got 47.37. So in my book, I show you the ratios, so you'll understand the ratios. That's very, very important. Now, those percentages, they're the same. You got the ratios and the percentages. The numbers will be almost the same. So you'll know that you're getting that much or that less. And it's in my book. It's in the book Winning Ways. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. You can get it Google. I suggest you get it on the phone because you'll have it anywhere you go. You go to any casino, you'll have it there. Gypsy, when you were dealing roulette for the time you deal it,
yep.
Did you ever walk in a casino and play it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while because I got addicted to Keno, as everybody knows. But yes, I loved playing it. Matter of fact, way back years ago, they had the Golden Spike downtown.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they used to have 10-cent roulette, and I thought that was the coolest thing on the planet because back in that day, it was like, I don't know, maybe $12 to fill up my gas tank, and my monthly electric bill was like $28 or $30. So I would go in there with a $20 bill and get those 10-cent chips, and I would do exactly what you said not to. I would stack them on my favorite numbers, and I won because I laughed, right? I would assign the money as soon as I'd be like, oh, that's a tank of gas, and that's my power bill. Now I'm out. And
I'm outta here.
I loved it, right?
A lot of people can't do it. What I tell you in my book is when to walk away. But a lot of people don't do it.
That's the hard part in any game.
Yeah, any game.
That's the hard part,
Yeah,
right?
horse racing, any sports betting, it's hard to walk. Those people have been playing for that many years. They're disciplined. I met a lot of people who play sports betting, and they keep it to themselves, and they're disciplined. They don't bet crazy bets. They bet only the bets that they can win, and that's what I show you in the book. Only the bets you have the best chance, the best ratios and percentages to win, and that's what you want. You want to win. You don't want to go to a casino and I'm gonna come out of here with 10 grand. No, you can't think like that. You'll go out of there 10,000 in debt is what's gonna happen.
Well, I can vouch for that, but not with not the 10,000 in debt. What you said before that, a lot of people don't know. I had a cousin. He was my dad's age, so I didn't really know him. He was the number one biggest bettor I believe that this town has ever had. You would have tripped out if you met him. He was extremely disciplined. He was extremely superstitious, and he only played the odds. He would put up $250,000 or $500,000 to win 150,000. Right? He got his butt kicked though when Tyson bit the ear. Right? But yeah, you know, he always played with the ratios in his favor.
Yeah,
he won millions, right?
Yeah, I was there.
He was the guy.
I was here in Vegas. I remember I was at work at the time. I was here 4 years in construction, and I dealed 1 year here for the MGM Corporation. But I've been dealing in California for 16 years. But I remember when I was working that day, and I told the guy, I says, you know what? I'm gonna go bet Evander Holyfield is gonna beat Tyson. And I remember, I think it was 18 to 1. And the town, they say the town never recovered. So I don't know what happened. But I never made the bet because I forgot until I got...
From the bite? The ear bite?
No.
The town never recovered, or the money?
The money.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they recovered by now.
That happened...
More than once.
Yeah, that happened in the Hilton, too. There was this guy brought... I can't remember who was fighting, but they brought in this... the fight, and the guy... was a promoter and brought the boxers there. Well, hardly nobody showed up, but so the guy got the phone call and he thought he was going to be cussed out and stuff, but he wanted to thank him because some big bettor, I'm not going to say what country because you can't say that anymore, he dropped $19 million at the crap table. So the guy thanked him for bringing him that fight that hardly nobody came.
Wow. I was going to guess Australia, but you said craps, not poker. So my guess is probably wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. The guy that won. God, I just saw his story for the second time. I can't remember what his name was, but he won craps and poker, and then he went broke. He was another guy, $40 million, I think he rang it up to.
And went broke.
He went
That's
broke.
That's just wrong.
Oh,
wow.
People, I don't know. That story was, I almost cried.
So speaking of millions, I have some of those really cool collector chips that have Holyfield on one side and Tyson on the other from Fight Night, because I was a dealer. I collected chips. I have thousands in chips from the Hard Rock, but those are from the MGM. So if any of you got $1 million and you want to buy some, let me know.
Huh. Yeah, I have a set of dice. When I came here, I think I was in the 80, I don't know, it was 82, 83. I came here and I went to the gift shop at the Sands, and I bought a set of their canceled dice.
Yeah.
And I just kept them. I forgot all about them. But I have a bunch of stuff, matches, dice, cards from different casinos. I used to collect the matches. Well, the dice, years later, I got them out and I Googled it. And the dice that I bought from the gift shop, $1, they're $175. If you look at, that's why you see when a die goes off a table, when they get the die back, they're looking through the 4, and on the back of the 3, there's a logo. So that's why you always see them doing this to make sure it's there die. And a lot of the sands had an S, and on top it had an asterisk. But there's different logos, but they know that's their die. So I looked it up, and you got to look through the 4. If you ever look through the 4, you'll see the back of the 3. You'll see the logo of the casino. Now the casinos now are getting cheap. They're not even doing that no more. So, but like I said, now those dice are worth $175. I only bought for $1.
Nice. I haven't priced my chips in a while. I used to go to the chip shows, and I wanted to turn them. Actually, I wanted to turn them in at the Hard Rock before they closed, but I kind of missed that boat. So they're for sale.
Well,
I got a great collection.
snooze you lose. Okay. Now on I got another question on the first, second, and third 12s. Okay. There's 36 numbers, first, second, third 12. Okay. Each one of those has a percentage to hit. It is 31.58% to hit one of those. So if you add up all 3, it comes, I think it's 97.2 or 2.3, and then you have the 2 zeros, which is 5.26. If you add that up, it's 100%. So when you're playing roulette, that is the percentage, 31.58% for one of the 12s. Now, if you do the columns, it's the same thing, 31.58% to hit one row. That whole row, and you got 3 rows. So that's the percentage you hit it. That's now you can see that's only 31.58%, but all the red, black, and even on they're 47.37
Because of the zeros.
because of the zeros. Yeah, a lot of people walk up when I do parties, it's like, oh, yeah, let's put it on 50-50. Let's put it on red and black. It's not 50-50. Odd and even is not 50-50. 47.37 because they're forgetting about the 2 zeros.
Yeah.
And that's why their math is off or
There's
whatever.
always in any game going to be a sneaky little house advantage that most of us won't get because we're here to have a good time. We just want to play and we just want to win, right?
Exactly.
So we don't study and I'm there to win, but I also want to play and I also want to put in my time. But I don't have the ratios in my head the way you do because you've made that your thing. That's your whole strategy. You're gonna play the ratios,
Right.
And it works for you.
Not only I wanted to know them, and the only reason I started that is because of horse racing. When I used to play horse racing I played for 9 years. I used to walk in there after I was even what I knew. Sometimes I would lose. And I'd walk out and say, I didn't want to lose that money. I said, why did I lose? I came back the next week and I lost it again on the horses. But you have to understand the way I was playing and how I was betting. It's just some days you just can't win. I said, you know what, this got to be, why do they keep winning? Well, what can I do to beat them? So I tore down the games. Now, horse racing is totally different. Now, I'm going to probably do a show on that. But these games, they're all based on look at the layout. They're all numbers. You have to look at those numbers. Those numbers, there's ratios, and you have to learn those ratios. And that's in my book. It teaches you all the ratios and the percentage of it when they come up. So it's very important. And the other reason why I wanted to learn those ratios, this was probably really important. I run into mathematicians. I run into mathematicians or engineers, and they come up to the table and they start calling out all kinds of stuff. I said, that's incorrect. And if they don't understand on a set of dice how many times 7 comes up, or how many combinations are on a set of dice, or what the percentage is to actually throw it, like on the 12. There's only one way to do this. As long as you can't move one die and make another 6, there's only one way to come up. And this is if you want to throw it right now, it's 2.78% to throw it. So that's really low. What do you got against you? 16.67%, which is the 7. So your buffer zone is 13.89%. But you remember, it's 2.78 to throw that or the 6s. So it's really hard. That's why it pays so much. But you're probably not going to win. Now, the other thing I want to say about that, if you use money management, this pays, let's just say a 2 table. It pays 30 to 1. Let me get that up there. It pays 30 to 1. So if you ever want to play the 12 or the aces, or you can use the hard ways. Now, if you put $1 or any denomination, and you bet it one time, and because it says one-time bet, and if you lose, you can't wait. You gotta put it up again. You can do this on a 2 table 30 times before you're into the casino. 31st time you do it, and if you win, you lost because you went over $30. It only pays 30 to 1. And you can always ask for your dollar down. Same thing with aces. You can do the same thing. You can play it 30 times before you're in the casino, but it's got to be consecutive. You can't stop saying, well, let me wait 2 rows. You can't do that because it might come up. So, but anyway, Gypsy, let's go into, did I say, I want to do this one bet. I got asked about this bet. The 2 zeros and the street bet, it's 1, 2, 3. That bet you can make. That's 13.16% to hit that. It is right there where the single zero is, and the 1. You can place it right there. That pays 6 to 1. So I got asked about that.
So they're technically playing 5 numbers.
They're playing 5 numbers. It's a bet. A lot of people don't even know you can make that bet.
And what do they get paid?
6 to 1.
6 to 1. Okay.
Yeah. So, but there's a ton of stuff you can do on roulette. A lot of people just see the wheel spinning and let's bet. No, you can hedge bet. I went into hedge betting on that. So there's a lot of things in my book I show you on roulette. There's one, I got a real fun one. If you can sit there, if you get tired, whatever you're doing, you want to go sit down, you can go to a roulette table and bet $11. And they're called street bets. It's called having fun with street bets. And you place all these dollars where I tell you the numbers you should be playing. There's numbers that you shouldn't be playing because on the wheel there's sections of the pie that they're all right there. So you got to look on the layout. On the layout, I show you where they're at in the layout, and you put those in. And you bet 11 of those street bets, and you're probably more likely you're probably going to win. There's a huge chance you're going to win because I think it's 30 to 8 in your favor. So it's 30 for you and only 8 for the casino, and you'll win $1. So they'll take them all and they'll give you $11 back. So you make $1 for your $11.
Which is a tip for the cocktail server, right?
Yes.
There you go.
And you can sit there and
Cocktails.
get free drinks. Well, you should tip the dealer at least $1, and you get free drinks. Okay.
Wait, now speaking for a dealer who did like to get tips, which they all do, they actually don't want your dollar. They want your dollar bet for them because they want the dollar to turn into $35 or $6 if it's bet on that top
Right.
corner, or double up if you're just putting on red. So make sure you put down a bet for the dealer and make sure they know this is for you because they kind of have to announce it to the pit boss behind them. So yeah, very cool. Unless you're on a blackjack table, because of the way you put it in front of your bet, the camera can pick it up.
Yeah. Now, it's a lot of professional dealers say it's not percentage wise to be tipping the dealer, but you know what? I was a dealer. Gypsy was a dealer. We want our tips. For them, a lot of them, I've seen some videos on some of the professional when they talk about whatever they're playing, and they say it's not percentage-wise, not, what's $1? I mean,
Yeah.
make the dealer happy, and maybe if you're drunk or something, and he says it catches some mistake you make, they're going to help you.
And then another really important tip about the tip. That was kind of funny, right? Make sure the guy next to you or the girl next to you who's winning and not tipping, make sure they know that dealers make a living off tips, because newbies not only don't know that, even if they heard it, they don't know how to tip, how to play a bet for a dealer. So be the person on the table that spreads that word, right? That's a good thing, right? You're helping people.
Yeah.
And karmically, for some reason, karmically, it really does help people win, right? That's karma. I love her.
Yeah. I just tip the deal. You don't have to tip every hand, but you can tip them. It keeps you and them in the game. Gypsy, let's go into blackjack.
Blackjack.
Blackjack. What are you deal blackjack? What are your thoughts on blackjack, and how did the customers treat you?
Well, I love blackjack, and I think if you want to play for a long, long time through the night, so mostly for vacationers, right, who they're not sitting down saying, I'm going to win $200 and go to the pool or go have dinner. There's a few who say I'm going to win $200 and go have dinner, but the majority are, I'm sitting down for the night. I'm going to have some cocktails. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to win some money. And I think blackjack gives you longevity more than any other game. The money goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. However, that's stated. If you're on a table like I was a couple weeks ago where the dealer is just killing it, no matter what, they're pulling 21s. They have a 3 up, they pull a 20, that you have a 20, they tie you on a 20, they keep getting all the blackjacks, then it's time to move, right? But on an average, that's not what happens. So the money goes back and forth more, I believe, on blackjack, so you can play longer. But the key is when the odds are in your favor, you have to get more money on the table. That means take advantage of your double downs and your splits when you can. Because if you just think you're going to cash a $100 bill and get 20 red chips, which are $5 chips, and you're just going to go back and forth all night and not double or anything, you're going to lose your money. You have to take advantage of when the odds are in your favor and double down, right? Yeah. And split.
Yeah, that's called when the dealer's weak. Now, I'm gonna tell you people out there in TV land, I'm gonna tell you a little tip. Walk down the aisles and you look at, if you're playing blackjack, watch the trays. Watch the trays and you'll notice that some of the dealers, unless they came and refilled them, watch some of the trays. A lot of the chips are gone. Oh, by the way, we call them chips. They're not really chips. They're called checks. When you put a stack of checks out there, they'll yell out checks played, but if for some reason they say chips. If you see a lot of chips gone on a blackjack, even at a crap table, but if you see a lot of chips gone, it's called dumping. That's what's happening. The dealer's dumping, and you jump on that table because more likely that table's losing. You're the one that's going to win. Yeah,
no, that's a great tip. I like it.
So, what did you, when you were dealing blackjack? Did you ever? Now, I got this question last week. Did you ever see a dealer when 5, 6, 7 cards, 21? How do you do that?
Yeah, a lot more than you would think, right?
Yeah, that's it's
more so. Let me state that. That's when you're really dealing from a shoe.
Right.
You're not going to see that. You're going to see it once in a while, but not a lot off a single or a double deck. But coming out of a shoe, that'll happen more than you expect. You're like, they're going to bust. They're going to bust. They're going to bust. Right. They're going to take my freaking money. Yeah. Right? So, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, the reason why dealers have to take a hit because you can stand on 12, but the dealer has to keep hitting until they hit 17. So that's why if they get 14, then they get an ace, they get 15, they get an ace, they get 16. They got to keep hitting.
Have to.
Yeah, and then the next card's a 5, they got 21. This is the name of the game. But if you're a card counter and you're seeing all these little cards come out, the count's going up for the deck's going to become rich in 10s. So that's what you want to look for.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree, right? When you see a bunch of, even if you're not a card counter and you just see a bunch of little ones come out, you're hoping then the next hand that the trend flips and here come the 10s. And I do see people, even when I'm playing, that's when they raise their bet because it doesn't mean the 10s aren't going to land in front of the damn dealer.
Yeah.
But the odds say they're going to come out, right? So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Don't forget, in a single deck, usually when it's 7 players, once they deal to 7 players, and no matter how many cards anybody takes, they're going to reshuffle. That's why I don't like playing single or double deck. That's why they advertise it. It's the worst thing to play because you get too many stiff hands. You get a 6 and 8 deck shoe, you have a chance of getting a lot of small cards or just hitting your big cards right up front. So it's a huge difference.
Well, I was just up in Mesquite, and you're not allowed to touch the cards even off a double deck, right? Everything was coming up face up, which is kind of weird because you're all touching the same chips. Yeah. Checks, yeah. Right? But you can't touch the cards at all. So that was kind of interesting.
The reason why years ago all the decks were that's the way the casino had it because what happened was a lot of people It's called daubing. They're daubing the cards. That's you can look that up. What happens is they use either women, they use lipstick, they might use their eyeshadow, and they'll see they have a king or an ace, and they'll daub the back so they can kind of see what's coming out. Now, there's also scientific ways that they got into this. People are wearing these glasses, and they can see, boom, there's a thumbprint right there. And you have to have those special glasses. Well, don't try that because the casino they found that out a long time ago. But it's called daubing cards. So that's why they used to, you couldn't touch them. And then also they would put their finger in the liquor, and they would touch the end of the card, and the card would actually swell up. So that's why they don't want you touching the cards. And to me,
I like it. Let's do it.
yeah, make sure it's rum and Coke.
Yeah.
So
Orange juice would stain it better, though.
So Gypsy, when you deal blackjack, did you deal? I mean, how were the customers? Were they good to you? Did you?
Yeah, well, I had one of the coolest jobs in town, right? I worked at Hard Rock. Unfortunately, I worked there. My first year there was the year where it was chic for everyone, including all the women, to smoke cigars. So that part sucked. I'm always going like this, and I did draw the line at someone trying to have chew in their mouth and spit in the cup at my table. I'm like, no, that's an outside sport. So it was great, right? I saw rock stars, I saw a few movie stars, saw a bunch of hookers at night, right, from the strip club across the street. It was fun. And blackjack, I liked when I was dealing blackjack, I didn't have, it's automatic for a dealer. Craps is still a thought process, more so, but a dealer dealing blackjack, the cards are all memory. We see a 6, 7, 8 land in front of you. I already know you have 21. You have a 6 and 7. I know you need an 8, right? We know patterns.
Right.
And when I'm playing, I can still recognize a pattern, as any dealer who dealt for a couple years could. And the interesting part about that, if you go into a break-in house, which is a house where new dealers go, they have to count slow, right?
Yes.
So I have to hold back and not go, it's 13, come on, let's go, right? You just gotta chill out. You're there for a while anyway, so don't rush the dealer, don't rush the people. But blackjack was real easy, and I also realized, unless it's that streak like I talked about earlier, where the dealer's turning everything into 20 and 21 and blackjacks, almost everyone who sits down at the table is up at one time. On blackjack, I can't say that about the other games, but they've only been there maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes, right? It's the same if you sit down, you play video poker, you play Keno, unless you hit a big jackpot on Keno, because you could do that in a few minutes. But unless you hit that big jackpot, if you're just winning but you just sat down, you're not leaving because you haven't got your fix yet, right? Especially, I can't even just say especially if you're local, because Californians are like locals. So it's kind of weird, gaming in general, 50-50. 50% is about the absolute win, and 50% is about the fix. Right? People don't want to walk away until they felt like, okay, I got my fix, right? And sometimes they're up a couple hundred, sometimes they're up a couple thousand. Sometimes you got to admit, I don't care what game you're playing, you're like, yes, I only lost $50. I'm going home now.
Yep.
After, 5-6 hours. If you're a gambler, that's a good lose. You're lucky you only lost $50 after 5-6 hours, and you're okay with it because a show or movies and popcorn, if they can even serve popcorn today, I don't know, would cost you the same, right?
Yes.
Even if you went alone.
In playing that long, that's why you should go to the Total Rewards and get a card. Playing that long, win or lose, you get comps. So that's another thing that in a casino that you should do. Get that Total Rewards card. And the other thing what Gypsy was saying about the dealers downtown. Now, the reason why they're slower is because they're newbies. But my suggestion is when you first start to learn the card count, go down there because they'll take their time and you'll be, this is easy to count. And you'll get used to it.
Yeah, and a lot of people used to go to break-in houses because they'll make mistakes and pay you.
That's right.
They won't realize you have a 22 and they won't take your bet, and once in a while you'll get paid. The floor person won't catch it if
Yeah.
they're not standing behind it. And who doesn't want free extra money even when you lose, right?
Right. The eye in the sky. When I was dealing, when I was starting out, I did make a mistake. I think I had a 3-4. It's funny. I had a 3-4, 4-3, and then I think I caught a 7, and I paid everybody. And as soon as I looked at it, I went, and I looked over, and I saw the phone ring. The eye in the sky caught it.
Wow.
So they came over and they said, Richard, let me see, bring the card. That's why you take the cards in proper procedure, because you got to put them back. And I already knew what I had. And he goes, well, can you see anything? I go, what? It looks 22 to me. and I knew it, but I said, okay.
So
well,
it was 21?
it was 21.
Oh, you
So,
didn't bust.
But
Gotcha.
and if you're a newbie as a dealer, you get written up 5 times, you get fired. If you're been there a season, maybe a year or two, it's 7 write-ups and you're fired. So after that, I already know they wrote me up. So I had 1 strike against me. But yeah, it was. I got really good at blackjack later. Really good. Man, I was spitting those cards out really fast. But that was in the beginning. I was rusty. Gypsy, someone asked Golden Spike. What's that?
Oh, the Golden Spike was a little dinky casino off the what's the name of the road where Lady Luck used to be. It was just kind of like a block or so over. It's actually still there. I don't remember if they call it the Golden Spike. I think they tweaked the name, but they turned it into kind of like a really cool nightclub. Now, since COVID, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go down there and see what's there. But it was a really cool hip play. They took the roulette and stuff out years ago, but they made it a really, really cool place a couple years ago to hang out, and a lot of young people there. It was really hip. So I'll find out what's going on there now, because I really don't know. Since COVID, I haven't gone in there.
No.
But yeah, it was a dump, right? It's a dump. That's why they had 10-cent roulette, but it was fun, and I figured out I could win on 10-cent roulette back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel says, nice to see you, Gypsy.
Well, thank you. Well, I don't see you right now, but it was nice to see you earlier. So I'll give you my blackjack break-in story. Everyone has that moment when they're a newbie in whatever field they're in, and they know all the eyes are watching them, which would be anyone inside a casino, but especially those touching the money, which would be on the tables and behind the cage, which is what we call the cashier. So when you get a stack of money handed to you or dropped on your table, you have to lay it out in a certain way for the eye in the sky to see it. So I think I was dealing maybe 6 or 7 weeks. I started at the Pioneer.
Okay.
I was there for like 5 weeks, and I went right over to the California Hotel. And so I was probably there a week, and someone came up and dropped a brown bag on my table. I'm like, what the hell's that? I could see it was thick, and sure enough, there was $10,000 in it. So I'm like, laying it out. Everybody's watching me, right? At $10,000, you got to whip out your ID. They have to know who you are, because that's Uncle Sam status right there. Mm-hmm. But I was so nervous laying it out. It covered my whole table. Everybody was laughing at me, including the person who dropped it. But that was my break-in story. They got me quick. Like I said, I was only in the industry 6 weeks. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that before 1997, you could win $1 million, and there was no IRS. Once the IRS said no more, it's $10,000. So you can't win $10,000 in a 24-hour period. Now, what I got to say about that? I came real close at one time. I won $9,600 minus my buy-in for $300. But the table started getting bad, so I ended up quitting anyway. I was thinking, should I do it? Because you have to pay taxes. So if you win $11,000, what you do is, if whatever game you're playing, you don't want to play that no more, or you want to go play something else, don't go to the cage and cash in your $11,000, because you're going to sign a W-2G, and you're going to be paying taxes on that, which is about $3,000. And then at the end of the year, you have to pay full taxes on that and your regular job. My suggestion is if you win 10,200, you're better off giving the dealers 10,005
Call me. Just call me.
Call you. Yeah, you're better off giving the dealers a $205 tip and cashing in 9,995. Now, the dealer, the floor people can't tell you that. In my book, I show you. I tell you in the back. I think it's buying it for more than 3,000. That's you're suspect of money laundering, and they'll watch you. The eye in the sky and casino are two different. It's a different entity. They have nothing to do with the casino. They're there to police the casino. So the eye in the sky is to help you. And my suggestion is get the phone number, gaming control board. I have it in my phone. I keep it there. I almost use it one time. But you can if something you think a slot machine, if something's wrong with a slot machine and it's not hitting like it's supposed to, or something went wrong, it's called a gaff. And we're going to go into slot machines. Maybe I can get Gypsy to come on the show. We're going to go into slot machines, Keno, poker, because there's not a lot of stuff you can talk about that, because I can talk about those really fast. I think Jesse wants to know we're going to talk about poker. No, not on this show, not today, but stay tuned, because if I can get Gypsy back on here, I don't know, maybe in a couple weeks or whatever, we'll talk about those 3 games, maybe 4 games, because there's not a lot of stuff that you should know, and there's not a lot of stuff you can do anyway, because those slot machines is just there. And I'll go into how it works and how about the payoff and all that stuff. I'll go into all that.
Well, I think a very important thing for you to know is it doesn't work like what we were just talking about the $10,000. It's $1,199.
Right,
You had
right.
$1,200
$1.
or $1,190. You're
Yeah.
signing. You're paying Uncle Sam. Period. Because it's not spitting that money out to you. You can't sneak off with that money. Someone has to come over and pay you, and you're signing the Uncle Sam paper. You're busted. They're going to get their taxes.
Yes.
And good for you for hitting it anyway, Ryan.
Right,
Don't not
right.
hit it because you don't want to pay taxes. I really have a problem with people saying they don't want to win or earn money because they have to pay taxes. Because guess what? You're paying it if you don't win anyway. So win some freaking money, pay the taxes, and keep playing. It's fun.
Yeah. Like I said, you don't want to go over 10,000. Brenda, thank you. She loves the show. So,
Were you going to play one of them videos or no? Oh.
here's your time, country. What?
Oh gosh, I don't know the rule on that, but I did have some Canadians share with me at a time how that I wouldn't remember the number, but yeah, they were pissed because you guys have to pay a higher percentage, and that surprised me. I never knew that when I was a dealer. Actually, I think I was selling them vacation package, and we were talking about gaming, and they told me that because they hit. And actually, I think they hit a big bingo jackpot and got screwed. I'm like, wow, I had no idea. So I'm going to go with yes. I just can't confirm that it's 30%.
Yeah,
That's my memory.
Yeah, I think a while back I know it was 28. It might be like Gypsy. It might be 30. It might be more now. I'll have to find out. I don't really,
Fake ID.
Right. I don't keep track of that because the only time I'm gonna go over 10,000, the table's on fire, especially a crap table, and I say, you know what, screw it, it's worth paying the taxes. Hopefully I'm gonna win more than 10,000, maybe 15 or 20. Aaron, we're gonna do a roulette video.
Roulette or blackjack?
No, roulette, because our subject was on roulette originally.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
It's us. I'm here, Richard Delatorre, the author of, it's in the book, Winning Ways, teaching you how to beat the casinos by understanding ratios and true odds.
That's right. We're here to teach you all those tips that Richard talked about when he was on our show, Time to Vegas. Right now, it's Time to Vegas.
Hi, another tip on games in the casino. This one's on roulette. I know a lot of people like playing straight up numbers because we all like to win 35-1. Let's say you take, like most people, I see them just plopping, or they pick their certain numbers. Remember, when you do this, you can't bet more than 35 chips or you break out even. So what you do is you play whatever numbers you're going to play, and I see a lot of mistakes people make. because they have a lot of chips in there playing dollars, they'll do this. They'll put 2 here or 3. They'll like that number, so they stack it, and then they might play a couple more numbers, and because they like these numbers better than the other ones have. If you're going to do this, you have to play the same amount. If you're going to play 2, all of them should be 2, because you're losing the amount of money you're playing for the money you're going to win. The money management is off, so you should be playing the same straight up numbers, the same amount. If they're all going to be $1, it should be $1. It should be 2. They should all be 2. And this way, your ratios and your dollar payout will be the same, because you can't bet more than you're going to win. So that's just another tip on casino games. This is another tip on roulette. A lot of people like playing red or black, or even or odd. So if you make that bet, since it's casino says 5 in, 5 out, which is 0 through 36, which gives you 38 numbers, or the outside. So on this one, I'm going to show you. This is a bet a lot of people don't know. It's the 2 zeros and 1, 2, 3. It pays 6 to 1. So you can play that bet. If you see this coming up, or you're worried about the zeros, you can play this bet. And that's 13.16% to hit that. So here we go. So if you want to hedge against that, you can pick, say you pay your corner bets. This pays 8 to 1. You can play those, and you got $5 on those. And if you want to hedge, you can take $5 and bet it even, odd, red or black. And hopefully, if you don't hit one of those, hopefully you'll hit even, odd, red or black and get your money back. That's called hedge betting. And then I wouldn't play the 1 through 18 or the 19 through 36, which the ratio is the same, the percentage is the same. The only difference is 1 through 18 is half the board. 19 through 36 is half the board. So if the wheel is actually hitting on this side, then you don't want to play that. So I suggest you play even, odd, red, or black, because they're all mixed up. So it doesn't matter which side hits. So that's just another way of playing. And say let's go odd. Because a lot of people don't like playing odd because they think it's negative. But let's just say, for example, none of your numbers hit, but 15 hits. Even though it's black, it doesn't matter. It's an odd number. So you would take this down and you would hedge bet against that bet, and you get your money back and you start all over. So that's just a tip on roulette. Here we are again, another lesson on roulette. When the casinos put it into the tote board, which shows the numbers, their revenue went up 33%, because people start watching odd and even, red or black numbers that come up. That has nothing to do with anything. That tote board has nothing to do with what the dealer has spun. So if you're going to play watching the board, if it's red, you can bet red. But if it comes up black and you want to get your money back, you replace it with the same money you lost. So if you lose that, now you're down 4 chips. So what do you bet? You bet 4 on red. If it doesn't come up again, now you bet 8. So when red finally comes up, there's another way of money management. You get your money back. It's like you just walked up and you're starting all over. Never do lose 2. Oh, I lost 2, let me bet 4. That's not correct. You only bet what you lost. And you keep betting it until you win. You can do the same thing on the crap table on the field. So that's just another way of playing roulette using money management.
I have a great craps story for you, but you start.
Okay, we're here back, Full Tilt Vegas. Yeah, we're going to talk about craps. I want to talk about the proposition bets. I use those a hedge bet. My third episode is I go into that, but you can use craps a hedge bet. So you can, like I said, put 5 on the pass line and $1 on any craps, not craps, any craps, and it pays 7 to 1. Gypsy, do you have any stories on when you were dealing craps at the Hard Rock?
Well, wait, define that. What do you mean not $1 on craps, but on any craps? What does that mean?
Okay, if you throw $1 and you tell the dealer crap check, That's what they call it, crap check. They're going to put it on the C. You'll see 8 C and E's all the way down. Craps for C and 11 for E. They'll put it there. I wouldn't put it there because if you're on a 4-table format, they're going to pay you for your dollar. They're going to pay you 6 because it's for the bet, not to the bet.
And by that, he means FOR for.
Yeah. So I put it on any craps. Any craps is a 4-table or a 2-table. The format, it pays the same, $7. So that's pretty much. You should just always bet any craps. That way you'll know.
All right, so here's some craps trivia most people don't know, and I only know because I wrote a book with a partner once, Deb Gatlin, and we were dealers at the Hard Rock together. And like, where did that saying come from? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I mean, you still hear it, not as much, right? You don't hear the young generation saying it, which is sad because it's such a great thing, right? Elvis is gone. We have to keep winner, winner, chicken dinner, you guys. So we're like, where did that come from? So way back, fall back in the day before my day here, so before the 30 years I've been here, the chicken dinner was $2. That was the chicken special. So you win $2, it'd be like, winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm not going hungry tonight, baby.
Yeah.
Trivia. Who knew?
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Yeah, that's funny because I was playing, I think it was a Golden Nugget about a year ago, and these people were betting $5, and they were jumping up and down and screaming and hollering. They were winning $5, and they were yelling out, winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I was playing my usual. Once I got up to green or black or whatever, I was yelling out, winner, winner, steak dinner.
Ooh, well, listen, now you got to win $100 for that steak dinner and 25 at least for that chicken dinner, right? Although they're bringing the buffets back, so ding ding, that should be a food win right there pretty soon.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
The other thing I was going to say when Gypsy was talking earlier about a lot of the casinos, you have to go way out. I think on Boulder, past Samstown, there's Longhorn. I think it's a Super 8, and then the other one's Deuces Wild. They have, I don't know if they still have it. I've been there in quite a while. I took a couple of buddies of mine when they came.
Is this a steak story?
No, it's where you eat cheap and bet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took my 2 buddies way out there because they said, I don't want to spend a lot of money. It's where can we go eat lunch and cheap, and where can we play cheap? And I took them to Longhorn. They had 25-cent roulette. And they had dollar craps.
How long ago are you talking?
That was probably 7 years ago.
Okay, so don't run out there without calling.
Right, call first.
Who knows if they're even still there?
Yeah, and there, I think it was them. It was either Deuces Wild or Longhorn. One of them.
I remember Deuces Wild. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's way out there past. You got to go past Samstown. Go past. What is that? What is that?
Boulder Highway.
No, I mean north, east.
Yeah, it's east. It's northeast. Yes. Woo, blanked.
Yeah,
I had to figure out where I lived.
And we actually ate a cheeseburger, fries, and a soda for $3.99. So I don't know. You probably call up see if they still have it. I know they're.
You better call if that was 7 years ago.
Right.
Make sure they're still open. That would be something for you to share that you're on your next show. You do the research and let them know.
Right.
Right. Cheap play, cheap food. That's
right.
a good thing.
But you're not cheap, remember.
No, not for me. It's the wrong side of town. But
right.
And I don't eat steak, so.
Yeah, I went in there one time. I knew their breakfast was cheap. I think I was staying at Samstown. This is the same time back there 8-9 years ago, and I remember I said, "Oh man, I remember they have their breakfast." I was there at 3 a.m. I think it was from 2 to 6. I ordered my breakfast. I think it was 2 eggs, hash browns, toast. And the lady, I said, "How much is that? You got that special?" She goes, "Yeah, 75 cents." I go, "What?" It was 75 cents, but you have to go between 2 and 6 in the morning. So
yeah, I still am amazed that people have breakfast at Denny's and pay like dinner prices, right? It's Vegas. There are still good breakfast deals. They are on certain hours, but you're not boxed into 3 in the morning. But I can't pay a big price for breakfast. That's like lunch or dinner.
Right,
you know?
especially when you're gambling. That's why you get a total rewards card, because you can get your lunch, dinner comped. So that's why you get a total reward. Win or lose, you get the points. So you got to remember that.
You know, talking about that, the Orleans, I think I played there once since COVID, because I don't like going in, get my temperature checked, sitting near people. Where I play is a little hole in the wall, and I'm not right next to anyone. But they still send me $10 every month saying, come on back, get some food. $10 for food, not for gambling. I think they give me some comps, $5 a week, but I don't even go into play. Once in a while, we'll go grab the $10 of food to go. But I don't have the desire to go back yet.
Yeah.
But they had a great point system that I used for comps in the buffet. So maybe when they open the buffet, I'll go back.
Yeah, that's one of the best things in this town is the total rewards. You should always get that card. Don't be afraid that they're tracking you. The other thing is when you play, win or lose, at the end of the year, you can ask the casino for the readout, and you'll have your losses, and you can write that off up to, I think it's 5,000. You can write that off at your taxes, because that's your losses. So you want to do that, because you get shows. And I when I was going to the Stardust, I used to get my rooms free, because I knew everybody there. That was my favorite place at that time. The mob still owned it. I used to get rodeo tickets, NASCAR, and I never went. And some of the people, when I was picking up my tickets, because you have to pick up your tickets, because I got other stuff, and I said, I don't want this stuff. And these people behind me said, you don't want that, I want it. And I said, and the lady goes, no, you can't do that. I said, okay. So I said, no, you know what, I might go. So I got him, and then I winked at that person, and we're around the corner. I gave her my tickets. They went to the NASCAR. But I used to get all kinds of stuff free. The only thing I saw, because I wanted to say I saw the show, what was it called? Folie Bourget at the Stardust.
How'd that go?
It was, the women were, topless, but I just wanted to go, because that was a huge show. It came from Paris. I think it was in '52. The Stardust started that, and that's where it came from, Paris. But it's a show for years. I want to say because those costumes were so beautiful. Those women looked like they were 8 feet tall. It was an amazing show.
Nice.
Okay, Gypsy, you have any more stories about craps?
My favorite crap story, again, going back to the Hard Rock, Slash was on my table. And he was fried. I don't know what he was on, but he was on something. I came back from break. He was already on the table. So I was a stick person. I was girl in control. It was my table. I was running the show. And he couldn't get the dice further than that.
Oh, God.
And I'm not allowed to call it. I don't care who you are, if they just fall in front of you.
Yeah.
They need to, at least, if they don't hit the other wall, they need to pass me and go near it, right?
Right.
At that point, I can get some leeway from the box person. But he just kept going like that, and they just stay right in front of him. And I tapped the stick in front of him like, dude, you need to get to the other side of the table. I thought I was going to get fired, because he picked up the dice, and he walked around me, and he went to the other side of the table. I'm like, holy shit, he's a superstar. They're going to fire me for that. But it was funny. Everybody laughed, and he dropped the dice, and we called it.
Did he tell you when he went over there, well, now I got the dice on the other side.
He couldn't
You
speak.
happy?
He couldn't speak. He
Yeah.
was funny. It was great. It was great. That's my favorite. That and
I would have took his hat.
Cuba Libre? Not Cuba Libre. That's a drink. Cuba, what's that guy's name? What's his last name? The famous? Show me the money.
Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Him.
Yeah.
He was great. Oh my God, what a showman. He was on the table and he was just dancing and doing spins in between the show. He had the whole table going crazy. That was beautiful.
The other thing on that about the dice, as long as the dice go halfway, they have to go halfway. If one goes all the way down and you see the other one, if it's not halfway on the side you're throwing, it doesn't count. If it goes at least half of the table, even if it's a couple inches, you can look. Now it's up to the box man to call, say no roll, but it's supposed to be a good roll. and you can actually fight it. The eye in the sky. You have to stop what you're doing, and you say, "I'm going to call the eye in the sky," and actually, what happens? They stop the game. So I don't know if you want to do it unless you're betting thousands, but it has to go at least half the table on that side.
Pass the person with the stick.
Right. And that also, the stick man is position 1, and then the person on the other side on your, what would be your, his right?
Left.
That's position 2, and the third is position 3. So that's another thing if you want to learn that. Well, if you want to complain, position 2 at this time, this table, and they can track it. The eye in the sky can track who that person, what time, and what date. So you can write all that down. You'll find out who that person was, that time, that date, and the number of that table. Because you can ask the floor, what's the number of this table? So there's a bunch of stuff you can do. A lot of casinos are not going to tell you all that information, but I just know it because I love to know stuff. What else, Gypsy? You got another story or?
No, I'm good.
What was the
Brought
most-
back some fun memories.
What was the most money that somebody won on your table?
Well, the Hard Rock actually had a limit, which would surprise people, and surprised me. I don't even remember it. It might have been something silly like $500 bets, or maybe max was $2,000. But there was one guy. I think they called him the Wolf. He wasn't a
Wall
nice
Street?
guy. Nope, he wasn't from Wall Street. He wasn't that guy. But they would let him play a $5,000 chip, which was a really big deal, right? That's why the Hard Rock won. They didn't let you go crazy. They didn't want the big whales in there or the big wolves in there. But so he would win the most, but he also, I don't know why, I don't know if he's superstitious or he's just rude. He didn't want to put the chip in the circle, so he would put it in front of it and they would let it fly. And I was always like, but that's for the dealer, thanks. And they're like, no, that's for him.
Yeah, we got a question up there. Where can you get my book? You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can ebook it. You can Kindle it. A lot of people buy it from Amazon. Usually that's where they buy it. But my suggestion again, I would ebook it or just have it on your phone because everywhere you go, it'll be with you. So to me, that's the best thing where to have it because it's always with you. What do we got here, Aaron?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Well, we got about a minute 30.
Okay. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Gypsy for coming on
You're welcome.
this show. It was nice to have her here. So I just want to thank everybody, and let's go to the casinos. And if you get my book, you can ebook. It'll be on your phone tonight. So we'll see you next week. And I think that's about it.
Yep.
We'll see you next week on Time to Vegas, and I'll be Full Tilt Vegas. So thank you.
Buy the book. Peace.